Well, welcome back, everybody. There hasn't been much video activity lately. I'll show you why, really. This is just, it's non-interesting stuff that I've been doing, you know? Been moving, cleaning. I got this section here done last night. I did build a cabinet. I've been handling it with a paint not completely dry, so it's picking up the dust, but it'll be all right. And I put rollers on the drawer. You know, I mean, it's brain dead stuff, so I didn't do anything. Anyway, this afternoon, I'm gonna take this whole section here, emptied out to this line right here on the floor, and sand it with a little portable, you know, belt sander. It's an old junky one, but I got one belt left on it. I keep hitting nails. You know, I look for them and I don't see them. You strike a nail and it rips a belt. And I've gone through, I think, 5 doing what I've done. But anyway, I got some on order. Hopefully they'll come today. But right now, this thing here, the wheels roll good on it, but they don't turn as far as, you know, changing directions. So I'm going to unload all this, tip this thing over, see if they need oil or if they need to be replaced. This came from a store, actually. It was a store display shelf for something, whether it was bread or... I'm not really sure what they sold in it, but Carol can tell you what store it came out of. Down in, it was either Trookies or maybe a place called Fernan. I don't remember. She told me once where this came from. But, and a lot of this stuff in here, you know, has got to go down in the shop. I don't need it up here. I mean, an unused container of 1970s, you know, snowmobile oil. Look at that stuff, 50 to 1. Competition special Blizzard oil, SAE 40 modified. We've got, there's actually 2 boxes of this stuff around. But it's all good oil, you know. And yeah, so I got to empty this out. That's my project here next. I'm not going to video it, but I will bring you back here and show you what I've got done. Yeah, I did put this thing on the ground. For the last 20 some years, it's been on this roll that one of the stores was throwing out. And I don't know what they were for, if they were for bread or what, but it had gotten bent and they had thrown it in the dumpster. And I asked them if I could have it. They said, of course you can. So, you know, back then people thought nothing about giving stuff away. Now, sometimes they can get a little funny about it. But anyway, we got this old girl on the ground. So now when I push stuff through, it doesn't roll and move on me, which makes it much nicer. And yeah, we was doing 2x4s on it. We'll run that down actually so I can use it for a table because I like to pile stuff. And anyway, yeah, so I'll bring you back, yeah, probably tomorrow and show you what I got done. Well, it's a couple days later. As you can hear and see, it's below 0. Of course, this screen don't help filming through a screen, but yeah, I got drifting going on. 20-30 mile an hour winds. We'll shut that window back out. Because outside, well, this one don't register under 0, it's too above. But yeah, 70 inside, so we're doing good in here. I even had to take my long john top off there. It was so hot, but yeah, the wind was blowing. I didn't get the camera going quick enough to show you there. We had, looked like a whiteout out here. But yeah, it's pretty stout today. Of course, it's coming out of the north. And you see the snow devil going down there in that further field. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy cold out. That thermometer there on the side of the house, it don't go down quite as fast as the other ones. The ones that are out on the poles, they're reading 4 below. and started out at 8 above this morning, and we're losing pretty close to 2 degrees an hour. So it's been going down all day. Got that northwest wind. Pretty cold. But anyway, yeah, I'm out here with the dog, both of them. Moxie's here somewhere. There she is. She's a prima donna. She don't like to go out in the wind and the snow, but we forced her into it here about an hour ago. Kind of made her go out. I've been working on this junk rig here. Just made new boxes for it. 1/2-inch plywood on the bottom, and put the you know, roller slides on it. So I got to do that to all of them. They're all junk. You know, this, I mean, you can see, it was a junk set when it was brand new. But all the wood's good on the outside, so I figure what the heck, I'll just make a set of drawers out of it. Keep some of my crap that is on that table somewhere where it doesn't bother me, because right now I don't have room to do anything. But yeah, so we're real cold. Supposed to be cold tomorrow. I think, let's see, today's Friday. Tomorrow morning's supposed to be 20 to 25 below zero here, with a wind chill of up to 60 to 65 below, which out in Minnesota and Montana, you know, them guys are used to that stuff. They get it all the time. But they're making a big deal of it here, which when I used to log, we'd always get a week or two of this every year. We keep it on logging, you know. A friend of mine come down this morning, he said he'd have kept logging today, but the wind was blowing the wrong direction, you know, working right against him. So, and when you cut pine trees for a living, you know, wind really works on them hard. So anyway, I knew what he was up to. He came here and visited for a few hours. Yeah, so anyway, I'll probably post this tonight. You'll probably see it. And not really a whole lot going on other than keeping warm. And, you know, we painted underneath where Moxie's at. You probably saw that in the other video. And got the wood in. Did all that yesterday. We put a bunch in the house too, because we got a heat pump we like running in the kitchen, but when it gets down, you know, really below 15 degrees, we really don't like to run it, because it's not very efficient. Get your light bill at the end of the month. You'll understand what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm gonna let you go, and if I get anything else done interesting today, I'll let you know. So it's the next morning. Temperatures come up quite a lot. It was 17 below was the coldest we had at about 5 this morning. And right now it is 8:15. I didn't get out here right off, but I filled the fire at 9 o'clock last night. So it's been, yeah, 11 hours. And I don't think there's any fire left in it. Oh, it's still pretty warm. Yeah, there's actually some coals back there. Not bad for 11 hours. And yeah, temperature in here is running right at about 58. Just on the other side of that door is 0. So, you know, 17 below out there, 0 out there. Boy, I'll tell you, I'm glad I put Rockwell in this place. It's so far ahead, I believe, of the fiberglass stuff. You know, I grew up with Owens Corning, and you put it everywhere, right? But it seems to settle and it just doesn't last. This Rockwell so far, I am impressed with it, I'll tell you. We got a lot of windows out here, and this place is the warmest room we have in the house. This right now, sitting here at 58 degrees, feels warmer than what our living room does at 70, which it's reading 70 in the living room. But there's drafts coming from the floor everywhere, just because of the amount of heat we're putting out with the wood stove. And, you know, that heat goes up and it washes the cold off of the walls and it goes down. Our house is never that comfortable. This room out here is you know, I told Carol last night, we ought to put our beds out here. Jesus, I mean, it's so comfortable in this room. And this wall on this corner from the door over, that high area right there isn't insulated yet. Not at all. It's just wood. And this corner over here isn't insulated. So that's the only two places that aren't insulated. It's an insulated door. That, I don't know what it is. It came out of the dump. As you can see, it's got holes drilled through it. But it still heats good out here. Pretty interesting. But anyway, yesterday, I tried making a drawer out of this stuff, and I'm not sure how it's going to last, how it's going to hold up. I don't have any screws in it, because I have a feeling that if you put a screw in it this way, it's going to split this. Unless I pre-drill it and all that stuff. But it is biscuited, and then the bottom's just nailed onto it. So I'm going to put it in this morning, and I'm going to make a few of these and try them. If they don't work, I'll throw them away and do something different. But yeah, so I had a whole bunch of this scrap that normally you'd throw away and burn, and figured I might as well use it. It's a lot easier to do this than it is to take a board and make, or a piece of lumber and make a board out of it. So I know that's a stupid statement, but yeah, for all of you who know from working with rough lumber, you got to joint it, then you got to edge it, then you got to rip it on the table saw, then you got to go plane it. It's just, there's so many steps to getting a flat board to make a drawer. Because if you don't get them flat before you start planing them, you end up with tension and you end up with a crooked drawer. Stuff don't work good. And anyway, yeah, so that's what I've been up to. I've been, I got the top one in over there. This is the next one down. And me and Carol ain't been working too hard. Sometimes I just sit out here with the dogs and play with the dogs, and it's kind of like a downtime. I do have the oil on in the shop. That's up to 60 degrees down there, but this is warmer up here. So that's where I've been kind of hibernating here the last few days. Anyway, that's just kind of an update on what we're doing. We've got this thing emptied, and I got the wheels lubricated on it, so it rolls beautiful. So now I got to reload that. That's going to go over in that corner right there to the right of that window. And hopefully I can get all this shit put away. I got more stuff around. And stuff, it's just like, geez and cross. And a lot of the stuff like this here belongs downstairs. That's an old railroad hammer. B&M Railroad. I believe it's Boston and Maine. And, got a brass end on one end. Nice hammer. And this here belongs downstairs. So I got to get some stuff down, some stuff up. Yeah. Anyway, it's a mess. But I'm working on it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this little update. And keep safe, everybody. And we'll see you on the next one.